Welcome back to Forever Adulting with Asha and Sassy.
Hey, honey.
How are you? You look really cozy. And what's going on?
Oh, well, baby, I am enjoying the winter of England, which I know you are happily avoiding. You're not in cold UK. Where are you? What are you doing, Asha?
In the middle of India, in a flat that I've had to borrow for this recording because my hostel has shit Wi-Fi. I'm in Mysore at the moment, which is in South India. It used to be the colonial capital of British colonial India before it moved to Delhi. So there's loads of colonial buildings here. Really good food. Known for modern yoga, known for its palace. There's 0 young people here.
Okay, well, because when you said modern yoga, it makes me think you'd be around loads of young, vibrant people. I'm not sure what modern means.
Interesting you saying that. Modern yoga would be like the revived yoga, like how I do neo. It's obviously an ancient tradition and a way of life, but to make it modernized, people based in Mysore, then made it for modern people and made it a bit easier. So traditional yoga, for example, you wouldn't use props to help you, and it would be quite difficult. But actually, as people are evolving, they need props. So that would be modern yoga. And when I mean yoga, I mean like the positions, so asanas, not the yogic lifestyle. And then when you say young people, there's loads of Western people here. I'm fed up discussing avocados, bloody coffee that they've brought from Western Europe. We're in South India. They're known for coffee. These guys all bring their coffee from Europe.
You're fucking kidding me. Why would they do that? It was the first time I saw a coffee plant was in Kerala. I was like, this is beautiful.
This coffee I'm drinking is from London.
What? No. Oh, that's so stupid. I'm sorry. What about the chai? Are they embracing the chai?
Yeah, they have sugar. I can't have too much sugar. Yeah, there's just so much sugar here, don't they? And I literally stormed out of the hostel. I was like, I need to get to the most Indian place I can. And I walked 15 minutes. Babe. So that's where I am now. So a week ago, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I've been here for 2 weeks and I'm continuing to be here. So I am deepening my yoga practice, which is really effing difficult. I'm deepening my dance practice. It's so hard. You have to get up at 5. My body's doing all these G-string kind of activities.
Oh, very. I'm so impressed though, because when you decided to go on this trip, that was exactly the intention you set for yourself. And now you're really embracing it.
Yeah, I'm living my best now in life. So I'm doing yoga practice. I'm doing one-on-one dancing, working. I mean, what's the worry when you're living in India, just working and doing yoga?
But that's also incredible because I was in your shoes this time last year and it helped frame my mind into a completely different way of thinking.
You really taught me a different way of traveling. I'm very used to backpacking where you stay in hostels and predominantly hang around with Western people. You get drunk. You basically live for the night. So you do a couple of daily activities, but then you live for the night or you go for a couple of hikes and that you'll always have a beer or 2 at the end and some fun stuff too, depending where you are. But you really taught me, actually, you don't need to travel like that. You taught me that there's cool people in India. I would use talk to anyone Magnolia Coloured. See, it's been really important in creating boundaries as well. But yeah, you inspired this trip. So why don't you explain what you were doing in India for our 100 or 200 listeners?
I was invited to Delhi by one of my close friends, Natasha. Not say that because I know you're going to act up if I say that, Asha. You'll be like, I'm your best friend.
They've got no possession over anybody. You know what I'm doing? I'm practicing detachment because you know what? I'm a yogi.
This is great. I'm proud of you. Okay, so a very close friend of mine, I went to Delhi to meet her family and celebrate her wedding. And that was in last November, 2023. And I decided to use it as a reason to stay. And I'd seen some fabulous things happening in the voguing scene in Mumbai online. And I was like, get me there. I want to meet these people. I want to interview them. And so I spent 2 months just getting to know all these incredible artists and fashionistas and kinksters all around Mumbai. And I just got hooked. I know there is so much to see in the vastity of India. It is huge.
Not India, it's India.
Oh, sorry, India. I like that. And when I went to Kerala, I met so many beautiful humans who were traveling also from their own states down to spend some time by the beach. And I had brilliant conversations and they inspired me to do a Vipassana. And that was like, because it's 10 days, silent meditation, no talking, very intense, very wow, but I actually resisted a lot of it. And I ended that the Vipassana and I was like, I want to go home to England, which is crazy because I really got to a point of thinking I wanted to live in Mumbai.
I was so shocked when you called and said, I'm coming home. I remember that fucking moment because I was getting ready I was doing my outfit for TG and I was like planning it and you were helping me. And I was like, if I was away backpacking, I wouldn't give a two shits about someone at home. And you were there like helping everything. And then you just turned around and said, I'm coming home.
I felt homesick. I really missed home, which was a very surprising feeling because I felt so welcomed into the home of people's lives in India and so grateful for the connections and friendships. But yeah, I missed home and I was like, I want to dedicate my time to building love with my family and friends. And
there was no friends in this equation. Stop that fantasy of yours.
Oh my God, you called me out. It's so true. I just missed my family. And then I also realized that I just wanted to knuckle down. I've been constantly escaping. And that's what traveling had become for me. It was like, take months at a time and disappear and embrace a new way of living and a culture. And I felt like I really thrived.
It's beautiful to see, flourish. And also, just as I said, just so inspiring. I'm such a long-term traveler. I've been traveling for 10 years by myself. 10 years. And never have I really delved deep as much as you have with motives, objectives. And this is all come from you. So thank you so much. I'm indebted. And also when I was stuck, I was like, oh, what would Bethany do? When I didn't have any friends, I was like, what would Bethany do? And then I was like, actually, what would Asha do? What would I do? And that's what happened. And I made some really good friends that way. What did you learn in your time in India that maybe I can take on my journey for the rest of the couple of months or 3 months, 5 months I'm here? Something I love listeners can take if they're a bit scared to travel alone, travel to India, because we're so scared.
Yeah, it's not. I actually had I read 3 or 4 articles, maybe 2 days before I got on my flight to Mumbai. And all the articles were just fear mongering. They were so, if you're a Westerner, you need to look out for this is going to be a problem. And I was like, what the fuck am I walking into? So don't believe the things you read online. Remember that everyone is human and you'll always be okay. And you can just ask people for help. There are good people everywhere and you're going to bring them when you need them, I think.
Good energy attracts good.
I want to say something about mercy. It's you have to just give in because you don't know how things are going to go. Your bus isn't going to turn up and you're going to get stuck on that road I pray a lot when I travel. I pray so much, actually. I'm just right, show me where I'm meant to go. Let me ease into the day. And I end up meeting people and then ending up somewhere and then getting a trip somewhere else. And it's just that's life. That's living. So lean in, baby. Lean in.
My thing. I keep forgetting. So interesting you bring in lean in because my word this year is surrender.
I love that.
And it's because, as you know, I love a plan. But I'm not going to act as if I love a life plan because I wouldn't be in India if I loved a fucking life plan. But in short term, okay, so we're going to meet at 10, we're going to do this and do this. And then we're going to take some ketamine at this time. And then she's still rascal. And actually sticking to those plans have stopped me from experiencing really cool, interesting things. And also part of my yoga practice is to surrender into everything. So my key word for this year is surrender. It feels very calm inside because I'm not constantly thinking about the next thing. And I'm letting the universe just wash me, basically, come into this point and just go, hi. So what is your key word for this?
That's a beautiful word that you have. I love that I even see and hear the sense of peace that you're embodying. Okay, so I think my word for this year is patience/courage. I'm choosing 2. I think patience is something that I'm enjoying. Someone read my tarot the other day and it was a card that says the charm of simplicity. And I think simplicity and patience are quite, they're nourishing stillness, peaceful words that when we live in that state, and you're not rushing for something to happen. You're not constantly come on, next thing. Even with relationships, when I want to jump on someone, it's actually to be patient. Be patient with our own selves.
Bethany, because we're not. You're very right. Actually, my sexual experiences in India have just proven that patience is virtue.
Can you indulge me in a little of why?
Yeah, I can. So I've only had 2 sexual experiences in my months here, which is really interesting because, at home, we're very sexually free people and we have a black book and we have a lot of fun. Sometimes it could be heartbreak, sometimes it can be that. But also, I think maybe the aura that I carry in the UK is sex is like, you know, do you agree? Like, I don't know, dog on heat, maybe.
It's interesting. I think you're right. When we're in an environment where people are flirty and there's a lot of things at our fingertips, and even engaging with people, I use my flirt sometimes just because it's, I don't know, it's fun.
I wanted to talk about this and I wanted to tell you some developments.
Oh, great. Pin it.
Pin it. So yeah, 2 encounters. And I think for me, being in the scene in London, we have the same conversations as a script, right? Kinks, not kinks, any no's, any hard no's. I always ask vocabulary, like I tend to use darling, babe, shit like that. So I always ask for like trigger words. And it's quite like a transactional conversation. Sometimes I can kill the mood and sometimes it can erupt. And I think since traveling, I haven't had those conversations. And when I have, the partners have been, one was like, yeah, it's fine. And it wasn't fine when we got down to it. You know, it wasn't fine. For example, he didn't like squirting. She's Niagara Falls.
It's a waterfall and it's beautiful.
Awkward, because I was like, we come from such a society that like reveres that, you know? Yeah. And it must be the porn generation, but hey. And I didn't apologize. Like, I was like, you know what? If that's not your thing, there's the door, darling. See ya. Because it was my fucking birthday, and I've never had birthday sex. And that was my fucking first time.
Oh, that was so mean. Ugh.
And then the second time was with a guy. We had a great sexual, emotional, spiritual. Everything was tick, 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 tick. We like even fucking looked like each other. Insane. Like me, but just imagine me. So funny.
Talking about appearance, but you mean character as well.
Character. It was like insane. It was so crazy. So insane. I think I know he was going through some emotional like turmoil and stuff, but it was a very sexual connection and also, as I mentioned, spiritual, emotional. And then I didn't feel the need to have the conversation because everything felt really, really right. But actually, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. And it wasn't right for him. And so it was rejection for me. I was rejected. But also, was it due to not having that conversation?
Yeah, because it's like, is it just that he wasn't wanting to have a physical relationship, but he still wanted to keep that everything else, and maybe that spiritual?
Yeah, it's some great advice. You were like, look, you enjoy his company. Don't like shy away from that. Hang out as friends. And it was beautiful. Like, although, can I also tell you something?
Yeah.
I was high the other day, like smoking a little bit of weed because Asha in India likes to get and she likes to think and note down everything. So I was thinking I'm quite polite when it comes to people's opinions and like respecting how they are with me. If you're not interested in me, that's absolutely fine. That's your choice. Everyone gets the ick. That's fine. But I'm never sassy with my words. I'm funny, but I'm not quick enough. And then when I was like, hi, I was like, babe, you're going to use this phrase next time? And I'm going to tell you what it is. So we went out one night, me and this guy that we had a great connection. And obviously, as strangers do, they tell you that you look good together, blah, blah, blah. You know, you have girl code. We looked fucking amazing together. Everybody said, you know, are you together? And I was like, no, like we're not together. I'm very respectful of his choices. What I could have said was, let me get ready. Well, if we were together, trust me, he wouldn't be in this bar right now.
Oh, baby. He'll be busy somewhere else.
Well, hi, Ashley was like, write this shit down and use it next time.
And it's funny because when I see you be funny, I also see you be outrageously flirty. So I find it so weird that you think,
I can't flirt to save my fucking life. I don't know. And this girl, university degree in flirting, university. Like, my dad pimps me out. We need a tractor. Like, this literally has happened. He's like, we need a tractor. Go talk to this Irishman. Before you know it, we've got a tractor.
Do you think you use your appearance to flirt and your body language rather than your words?
No. So it's really interesting because I think I flirt with people in general, humanity. If I'm interested in someone, I give mixed messages, and this is my fucking problem. And I'm learning this when I'm learning this new type of dance because I'm learning storytelling and actually trying to evoke this emotion in you to bring out on stage, as I am a burlesque performer. If anyone didn't know, about 100 listeners. So then she's telling me, like, evoke love. And I fucking can't do that. My lust, my passion is all there. And the love is just not coming. Love. And then today we did secrecy. And she's like, think about something secret. I was like, I have a radio show where I talk about everything from sex to my political opinions. Like, there is nothing secret about me. It's really interesting to see my body language as I'm pretending to be in love with somebody, because actually I'm quite like a guy's guy when it comes to flirting. And I like avoid eye contact. And I'm like, so I just need to practice.
I love this because one of the things I've been focusing on to start this year has been opening my heart. And it can be quite shocking when you suddenly realize, at least in my experiences, that I've got this like gate up around my heart that is actually dictating every relationship I pursue, every feeling, especially a bad feeling that I have. If someone's like rejecting me, that brings up so much emotion. And I'm like, and it's trying to work out, how do I bring down that gate and open my heart and not come from this place of like pain and fear of being hurt again and fear of all the things, people abandoning us, breaking our trust. Those are big things for me.
We need to then pledge, I think, to break down these barriers. I have not discussed this with you offline, but you know, in this dance I'm learning, this is what pledge means.
I love that. Pledge is like a devotion, a vow, no?
Yeah. This year has to be vulnerable. And I find it really awkward. I'm just like, what to do? I don't know what to talk to you about. I don't care.
I share something, which is hopefully going to lead to something helpful. But when I travel, it was the times when I would be the most vulnerable with my heart. And I would always have these holiday romances. I'd go full in with this person, even if it's just 24 hours. Sometimes it would be a week, maybe a bit longer. And I found that the reason I could be so open-hearted and so like, woo, loving, tactile, open, feeling like they wanted me is because I knew I was leaving.
Because I'm still not even at that stage. I'm like, no, you don't deserve me, bitch. And I'm not vulnerable enough. Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting. It's like, how can we tap into those vulnerable parts of ourselves and let that spark of like silliness and carefree and spontaneity and less heaviness on the pressure and the fear of the outcome and the expectation. It's like, we don't know how anything is going to be.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
This is also what means a devil. Do you think it's possibly because we haven't met people that is a good connection for this to happen? Because I feel like both of us would do it if it was a good connection. Like, I practiced it with this guy that I was just seeing. I was so like, wasn't super vulnerable. I was still very close. But again, I was slightly vulnerable because the connection felt right. Do you think for the both of us is because we haven't met anybody that is feeling authentic?
Interesting, because I think I have met people who are authentic, but because they're so available and kind and beautiful, I friend zone them really fast for fear of knowing that actually it could be a brilliant connection and therefore I would be vulnerable with them. Then I would let myself fall in love with them, and I can't let that happen because I don't trust love. You know, I think we have to take accountability for our choices. There are millions of people in the world. It can't be that we just have not met the right people. What's this one mean?
I'm just doing when you said take accountability. Welcome back to Forever Adulting with Asha and Sassy, where we discuss basically what it's like to be two lovely ladies in their 30s living on the opposite ends of the Jubilee line. I'm based in India at the moment on a little Eat, Pray, Love kind of expedition.
And I think you're very much in the pray part and love. I guess we were just talking about love and opening the heart. Because before, when I went on my trip, I remember saying to people, oh God, don't tell anyone, but I think I was saying I'm going to do a cliche thing and become enlightened, like as a joke.
Oh my God. I'm telling everyone, I need samadhi, which means enlightenment, in 2 minutes. Put it in a microwave and give it to me. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And then do you know what's happened? I've got Vipassana because obviously you've gone on, my dad's gone on it, and it's a 10-day meditation retreat where you're not allowed any eye contact or any verbal cues. You're just internally here. And I've got the opportunity to go to Kumbh, which is the largest human gathering on Earth. And it's said to be the most spiritual time right now, actually, in a couple of days. And first time in 144 years. So actually, Western listeners might have seen it on the news, that Kumbh Mela separately, but also the spirituality, because all of the planets, the 9 planets, are lining up this month. Why we have it in this month. And like Western listeners would know what ley lines are. So it's similar to that. And we celebrate and we feel that there's a big spirituality where this Kumbh Mela is held. Some say that you can see it from space because it's a huge, huge gathering. And it's really intimidating. There's a lot of people, obviously, there's 450 million people on the first day. The UK has a population of...
Okay, here we go. Fact check. 68.35 million. So it's like, what, 6 times? Crazy.
Yeah. So 450 million people in one space in India. And the UK has a population of 65 million people. It's fucking insane. And the Indian government have pledged that everybody will get accommodation here. That it should be available for everybody. So I'm just trying to figure out transport. And if I go, the next episode of Forever Adulting, it will be really, really interesting.
Wow, that's massive. Yeah.
Microwave enlightenment, I reckon. I've read some advice, and some advice has said, make sure that you practice meditation before. So you've got a meditation practice there, and then you're kind of serene while you're there. Practice no judgment. So it's also, in Indian Hindu culture, we have a thing called babas, where basically Hindu culture, a primary aspect of Hindu culture is to remove any aspect of attachment. And one of the aspects is attachment to what you look like to the outside people. And actually, fun fact for our listeners and for you, Bethany, is dreadlocks came from Indian culture because like people who take religion seriously, I don't know what you call it, they've renounced any kind of attachment to their physical appearance. So that means their hair would get matted and then create dreadlocks. And in Western culture, it's kind of, you would hear about it a lot because it's obviously very different. I would say slightly fetishized as well in Western culture. And this is the gathering. And this is people who live in caves. Some of them haven't spoken in their entire lives. They have vowed not to speak, vowed to meditate, living in caves. A fun fact as well, also a lot of them were freedom fighters. So a lot of them were fighting against the British, and then so they're strong men physically, and then have retreated, and this is that. So then they all come out of these caves basically to meet at the Kumbh Mela. And so alongside it being a spiritual renaissance, I don't know, spiritual for Hindus, it's also a gathering for these really interesting people. So they say, don't practice judgment as well, because there could be someone from a different walk of life that you have no idea what they've gone through. And there's lots of things to see. I don't know, like we call them Naga Babas, where they're naked as well. So they'll just walk around naked. And they're often devotees of Shiva, and he's the god of destruction. So that can be portrayed in lots of scary ways as well. So yeah, they say meditation, no judgment. Also safety, you know, it's a lot of people. But also I hear the Indian government have pledged to have CCTV everywhere. There's AI CCTV, police every 10 yards or something. One of my friends, it's really funny because we were doing our yoga course together and he was just like out drinking, like having a great old time. And I'd be really worried. So I'd like, I need to speak to you. Like, you need to fucking sort out your behavior. As your younger sister, you need to sort out your behavior. And it became like this brother-sister relationship. And he is there at the moment. He's volunteering in a place where has accommodation. So he sorted the accommodation, which is really funny. I was looking after him before, and now he's looking after me. And Indian culture is very much like, don't worry, I've got it. You tell me the date and I'll sort it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, tell me everything. Tell me. And he's like, no.
You're surrendering as well. It's like, you don't need to know all the things. It will present itself.
Yeah, but it's going to be dirty. Going to Creamfields, plus Glastonbury, plus Shambhala, plus all the dodgy UK festivals with all the dodgy people. But anyway, I'm not judging. Enlightenment from this trip. Mine is microwave.
Micro enlightenment. Well, it's something that I'm joyfully still practicing now that I'm in the UK. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you'll find when you come back, how you'll find transitioning and bringing everything you're embodying and she's hiding. Stop hiding. You're getting really good at that dance, you know. Your dancing is going to be excellent by the time you come back. But it is something that we can bring into everyday life. Like I'm trying to start my day with a meditation. I'm trying to wake up with sunrise.
Later now.
Yeah, it's like 8 o'clock.
If we were together, you would, I think you'd slip my head.
Give me a little tap tap. I do miss you, Asha. I do miss you, babe.
I miss you too, but we've got WhatsApp, so we just talk to each other all the time and tell each other dumb shit.
It's true. I've been going to a lot of events this January, a lot of kink and BDSM parties that are trying to raise awareness and funds for other events and communities in London. Yeah.
It seems like I feel like I'm removed from London, but it seems like it is going down. There's a hardship there massively, especially within our communities, the communities that brought us together. So the kink, BDSM, sex positive. What was the other word we had? Not sex positive, but sex who?
Sexual wellness.
Yes, I'm just a spiritual fuck girl. Yeah. Come to me for somatic healing.
You know what? That is what one of the people I've just interviewed was saying, that everything around the things we engage with in kink and BDSM is actually somatic. It's just somatic forms of potentially a therapeutic experience. It's touch, it's senses. And I love that. And it's definitely something that I think I'm exploring more. I'm really scared to say the T word, Asha, but it's on there and I'm wondering how you're going to respond to this. But
what's the T word?
Tantra.
Oh my God, I met a guy yesterday. He was like, I was like, mate, you're a spiritual fuckboy. Like, I can fucking tell. Because he was like, oh my God, isn't this? He was like, it's really like, okay, I'm on a Dara right now. Your accent, like, I was like, piss off, bro. Fuck off. Do you know what I fucking mean? I'm neo-tantra.
Kill me. This is my problem. It's like, I know there's so much to take from the practice of Tantra yoga. There's so much there, and only a little bit is actually about sex, which is why it's so fucked up in the West.
I was like, I appreciate that. And also, I'm taking the piss out of him, but I think he's very sexy.
But I think there's a lack of self-awareness. It's like, I went to a movement class once, and this guy afterwards was like, oh yeah, I've done Vipassana. And then the way he was talking, I was just like, fuck off. Like,
key word, babe. This is what I think about Vipassana. It's so popular. It's the key word. Do you know what I mean? It's like Himachal. And we're like, oh my God, have you not been to like the Himalayas? No, absolutely.
Honey bunnies, you've been listening to Forever Adulting on Islington Radio. Asha, it's been a joy, my darling. But as we're wrapping up this beautiful episode of January, I'm wondering, are you going to get a tattoo?
What is that? What travellers do? I've got a fake septum ring though. Look at that, readers. Just when I need to add a bit more kitsch to my personality. Dreadlock. So fuck that shit.
You can buy fake dreadlocks?
No, you can put them in your hair.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the thing. What was I going to say to you? Oh, tattoo. Am I going to get a tattoo? I do want to get one. I'm just unsure of what I should get. So the last time I went travelling, I got a pineapple. Do you know the story?
No, but I know where it is.
For the listeners, it's on my foot. It's nowhere sexual. And it's not upside down. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. What are the connotations of pineapples?
You had no idea it was a swinger symbol?
No, I was 25 and travelling in Guatemala. What the fuck did I know? And celibate. And giving everyone bloody Jaeger bombs.
Buckets of booze. Okay, sorry, yeah.
And so last time I went travelling, I got a pineapple to symbolise female and my transition and a group of ladies that I was living with, the transition to like womanhood, I suppose, and also to provide us with a symbol of being the most confident person we can. And so, you know, like the chappiest thing, like live, laugh, love. We basically took that. There's one for pineapples, and it's like stand tall like a pineapple, wear your crown like a pineapple, and be as sweet as you can. So me and 5 other girls have this tattoo to remind us of how much we grew together as a group of ladies. Fun fact, I elaborated the story, didn't embellish, elaborated to lots of people, And 2 other ladies have got the same tattoo inspired by my story.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like one Dutch girl and one Australian girl. They've got pineapples inspired by me. Why don't we ask listeners to think, well, I can get us a tattoo?
Love that. Yes, please.
What should I get? Why don't you tell me? Give them a little bit of like a nudge in the right direction.
Okay, I think it should be something that embodies Asha's playful spirit. I would say it needs to be something elegant and sophisticated, because I think you're moving to a different part of your life. Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't find a pineapple very sophisticated, but it is very beautiful and sweet. I'm seeing like a hand or a symbol or something that's linked to the patterns in your jewelry. I'm seeing something that reflects this moment in time. Let's see what people suggest.
1 or 200 listeners. So we're going to wrap up now. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a great episode. Thank you. We haven't discussed half of the things we were supposed to discuss, but I hope you found it useful, insightful, funny. If you've got any questions or any, if we've spoken about you and you don't like it, don't tell us. If you'd like us to cover any topics, please do let us know.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening on Islington Radio.